welcome back to Time to Go. Bob here. Really appreciate you stopping by the channel today. So today I want to take a look at the new Orient Diver lineup with you guys. I did an unboxing last week of this particular model. I'll put the reference number up on the screen here now, as well as in the description if you want to look this one up. Since the unboxing video, I have found some more information on the new watches. First of all, there's two different models, both with a variety of different colors. So we'll start the video by going through some of the new models, and we'll follow that up with a focus on this particular reference. All right, so when I'm looking up Orient models, I usually go to orientwatch.com or orientwatchusa.com. Found nothing mentioning the new models there, but fortunately a viewer pointed me in the direction of orientwatch.jp, the Japanese site. I had been to the site before, but it had been quite some time, so if you look at the top two rows under the Orient Sport tab, you're going to find two new models of divers. Up top is a 42mm model, which really has that Ray DNA. It's an upgraded look with some new colors and changes to the hour markers, hands, bezel insert, and it does have sapphire, which is nice, but from pictures it really has that Ray or maybe Mako USA look to me with the case design and bezel. So I'm thinking this is probably the Ray 3 or maybe again another take on the Mako USA, although I haven't found any definitive answer on the name, and really for me the name doesn't matter, although it does help with the title of videos. But by the way, the release date on these was September of this year, so kind of surprised there hasn't been more out there on these yet. Below those models is the watch that I have here, and guys, if you go to this site, it's in Japanese only, so you're gonna have to use Google Translate or some sort of translate app to convert the text to English. I will leave a link below to this page. Here we have all the specs that I'll go over here in a minute, as well as the same September release date. Again, no info on the name, but with the bigger size, I'm thinking maybe a new Mako XL, although it's quite different, so it might be nice to see a new name. So definitely take a look at the site, guys. There was actually a couple other releases that I'd never seen, a couple of really cool chronographs, and again, I will leave a link to where you can find that site in the description below. Now, as far as the model that I have here goes, we'll start with a quick rundown of the numbers. As far as case size, this one comes in at 44mm. Lug to lug is just under 50mm. We have a 22mm lug opening, and the thickness is 13mm. Unfortunately, with this model, we didn't get that sapphire crystal. It's a mineral crystal. The water resist is 200 meters, and the watch houses the caliber F6922 movement. The dial is a matte black, really cleanly laid out with the applied logo as well as the text Orient Automatic up top. Down by the 6 is water resist 20 bar, and at 3 is the day date accented by the two printed white lines. We have applied hour markers, and I love that the minute and second hand reach right out to that minute track for easy legibility. Really like the choice of handset here. The loom, like the other Orients I've had, is really good, with the only downside being no loom on the bezel. I'm going to throw a side-by-side shot with my Mako 2 here as well. Pretty much the same quality loom. The bezel is a 120 click bezel, totally different feel than the Ray and Mako bezels. If you just listen for a second here, it's not as clicky, but turns much easier, especially with that coin edge. There is no alignment issues at all if we can get it back to the 12. And the insert is aluminum, and although it lacks that loom pip, it actually gives it a nice clean look, which I guess is the trade-off. Now, a lot of guys in the unboxing thought this looked like the Black Bay, and the bezel color on this one is definitely similar, but other than that, it's a completely different watch. I really like the look of the color, although the blue and black look great too. The case finish work is really well done. The brush and polish work looks a little more refined than my Mako, and actually I'll get my Mako here just to give you guys a size comparison. And if you look at the side here, you can see that we have some really sharp lines where the brushed top meets the case sides. The crown is signed with the Orient logo. It unscrews and screws back in very easily, although I will say the winding action is just a little bit gritty. The case back has some light etch work with that dolphin logo with some of the specs of the watch around the perimeter of the case back. As far as the strap goes, it's a pretty big improvement over the other Orient rubber straps. It's actually very similar to the new Seiko straps in looks and just the feel of the rubber. I've been wearing this on a different strap, but it's always good to have something decent right out of the box. It's also nice that they've gotten rid of that pretty gaudy Orient logo they used to use on their straps, although the logo does make an appearance here at the tip of the strap in a much more subtle way. I like also actually the ridge here. I'm not sure if you can make that out here at the end of the strap. It just helps to keep that keeper in place on wrist. So speaking of on wrist, let's pop it on here for a second. All right, so on wrist, I think this wears really well. It is a little bit big for some, and it depends on your wrist size. For reference, I have a 7.25-inch wrist, and I really love how it wears. So overall, I think we've got a great new option from Orient with this and the other new line, and hopefully I can get one of the other models here soon to check out with you guys as well. So that's going to be it for today. If anyone catches wind on an official name for this, I'd love to hear from you on that in the comments, or maybe you have a nickname of your own. It might be fun to see what your suggestion would be, and I'll throw my vote for the Orient Oceanic in the mix as a potential name. So really appreciate you stopping by the channel today. Lots of fun checking this one out with you guys, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.